time now for weather with Nebraska Extension Ag Climatologist and Market Journal Chief Meteorologist Al Dutcher. And in place of our usual forecast, Al is here to tell us about another weather-related topic that we need to know. He joined me in the studio to discuss flooding risk. So with all the wetness issues that were prevalent during 2019, what is the latest on our flood risk going forward?
Well, as of the middle of March, the National Water Center put on a symposium in regards to flooding risk across all the upper Midwest. And if we recall back last fall, there was some releases by NOAA in regards to spring flooding risk, which is highly unusual based on what the precipitation regimes have been across most of the upper Midwest during 2019. So we had a lot of carryover moisture, and the concern was, of course, a repeat performance of the snow and the wet conditions that we've seen during the winter of 2018-2019 were repeat performance. So they issued this release, and the latest release, basically, if we look across all the basins of the upper Midwest, we're actually doing fairly good here, and a lot of that was a result of some very warm conditions between major precipitation events, allowing us to get rid of that surface moisture, and we didn't set the deep frost in the ground as we did last year.
So what river basins across the state carry the greatest risk of flooding going forward?
Well, according to the National Water Center, eastern Nebraska has about a 10 to 30% increase above its normal spring flood risk. If we go immediately up into extreme northeastern Nebraska, it takes in the eastern Dakotas, particularly the lower portion of the Missouri River Basin that comes in into southeastern South Dakota, and all the way up the Red River Valley, those have between a 30 and a 50% likelihood of seeing flooding, so we're much lower. Within Nebraska, the highest basins would be the upper Republican River Basin, and then the area between Nebraska City and Falls City, of course that's the Missouri River Basin, and across northern Missouri is where we're expecting some significant issues as we go through the spring season. And
then real quick, current status of the snowpack in the upper Platte River, and what does this mean for flows east of Lake McConaughey?
We watched the Platte rather significantly in terms of its moisture issues. Right now, between 112 and 116% of normal between the South and the North Platte Basin. Projected flows this summer, 102 to 103% of normal, and that's considering normal precipitation. So as long as it doesn't get aggressively wet this spring, we should escape this in relatively good shape.